Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you the next live deck profile. First of all, shouts to you guys for all the crazy support on these videos lately, like these matchups and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Little do you know how much I appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for all the support. So we're gonna go over Darkbox. I know you guys really wanted to see Darkbox. This is gonna be the Naganadel build. I do have a B-string build that's up on my Patreon right now. So if you guys want to subscribe, if you guys want to have another way to support me, Patreon's the best way to do it. I have monthly, I give away codes monthly to all Patreons, as well as do tournament reports there, which I'm gonna start picking up on now that I'm going to a few more tournaments here and there, as well as do my early deck profiles and deck profiles I don't really upload on the channel. So the little like articles and stuff like that. So you can check all that out. So if you guys want to support me, that's a great way to do it. Also, if you guys want more of these, don't forget to drop a like. We're gonna go for another 30 likes in this video, so drop that like, and then I'll try to do more of these I'll try to do more Darkbox matchups because people love Darkbox. I don't blame you. Darkbox is one of the most fun decks to play for sure. So answer common question today being who's your favorite dark type Pokemon? There's a lot of dark type Pokemon. I'm not really sure if I have a favorite now that I think about it. Because like I have a pretty good idea of who my top 10 favorite Pokemon are, and none of them are dark type. But I really like Shiny Weavile, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say Weavile for the time being, and maybe something else will pop up in my head in the future. But like Shiny Weavile is one of my favorite shinies, so I'll say Weavile for the time being. Ooh, that is some heckin' glare. Okay, we're gonna not put cards over there. All right, good. Anyways. Answer common question today for a chance to win a couple Cosmic Eclipse codes whenever those come out, because thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming, we'll be doing Cosmic Eclipse box giveaways. We're going to be doing some regional playmats and regional promo giveaways, and we're also going to be doing some code giveaways, all thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming. If you guys want 10% off codes of any kind, don't forget to check them out there. Lovely people. We're going to go ahead and start going over this with a 4-3 Weavile line. We increased the Weavile count thanks to our brand new supporter Red and Blue, which we will go over when we get there. But excuse me, guys. But thanks to that, we were able to burst out more energies. So being able to have a higher count of Weavile is important, especially now that Great Catcher is a thing. Honestly, you could probably even bump this up to a 4-4 line in Weavile, only because of how like a big Great Catcher is going to shake up the meta. They'll be able to chase your Weaviles down more often. So, but for now, I found that 3 is enough. You can get them out fairly easily. So 4-3 line it is. I'm playing the Sneaky Smash Sneasel. You can really play any Sneasel you want. This one has 70 HP, which is why I like it. So yeah, that's a Sneasel. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, we are playing the Naga build. So we are playing a 2-2 line in Naga. There's some key differences between like the B-string and the Naga build. The thing I like about the Naga build is that it's consistent. Throughout the game, it's easy to find the Nagas thanks to Treasure. You're thinning the deck quite a bit, so getting the Nagas down eventually won't really help. Well, I mean, will be pretty nice. And it's consistent energy acceleration throughout the game, as opposed to like having to land your B-strings on specific turns, especially now that we have things like ADP that can really take 2 energies at a time. You might even have to find, or 2 prizes at a time. You might have to find these B-strings as early as like turn 2 or 3, which will be a little bit more difficult. While Naga is consistent throughout the game, it will continuously accelerate energies, as well as give you a psychic type attacker that this deck could sometimes use in case fighting decks ever become popular. So there's a benefits to Naga. Right now I'm only playing a 2-2 line because we have Red and Blue. We have lots of ways to accelerate energies now because of that stadium. And that's it really for the Pokemon that are like, evolutions. Everything else is just a bunch of one-of tech attackers, and that's what makes Darkbox so cool. We're gonna start with some of the new stuff. We have the brand new Guzzlord. This card is really good in Darkbox, and another card that kind of pushes Darkbox to fame right now. Has 150 HP. Its first attack discards a deck out of the top of your opponent's deck, which is cool and all. But that second attack does 120 damage, and if you take a knockout with it, you take an extra prize. It doesn't matter who you're taking a knockout on. You take an extra knockout, boom, extra prize. Extra prizes are always good, so we do definitely want to make sure we have these. In the B-string build, I would probably play 2 or 3 of these, because it's not only that, it's like 150 HP. That's a lot of HP for a basic Pokemon. That's pretty bulky. Its retreat cost is 4, which kind of sucks, but like, if you play Night City, which you probably will be playing in the B-string build, then man, my focus today is awful. There we go. Then the retreat is not really that big of a deal. So we play one of those, and of course, taking extra prizes is kind of key. So we are playing one Sableye, Mega Sableye Tyranitar. Once again, Greed Crush. Oh, there's background noise. I hope I can edit that out. Greed Crush does 210 damage. I'm sorry if you guys can hear like weird fan noises. There. I was hoping nobody would be doing their yard today. 210 damage. You take an extra prizes off EX. This is just great in the Blacephalon matchup. Any matchup that has less than 210 HP, this card is just a dominant force in. If you take extra prizes off GX or EXs, you can just go around beast ring turns a lot of the time. Gigafall GX is 250 damage, probably your strongest attack outside of like Grenadiers Zoark with a bunch of energies on the board. If you have an extra, what was it, an extra 5 energies attached, you can discard the top 15 cards of your opponent's deck. It's not something you're going to be doing a lot, but it's technically a possibility if you have like a perfect game and you just want to win immediately. Let's see, I'm trying to avoid any glare, but there's so much glare. I didn't think this, I mean, this is where I usually record, so I didn't think there'd be this much glare. Anyways, more non-GX attackers, another bulky non-GX attacker, 160 HP, with the ability that lets you attach energies from your hand, so it's another way to accelerate energies onto the board. And Abyssal Sleep is really good, especially if you want to disrupt your opponent a little bit. Being able to hit them for 120 is pretty decent, and then of course, making them flip 2 coins for sleep instead of 1 is really, really strong. So I do think you keep this card in the deck. It's a 4 energy attack. I mean, obviously, as you can tell, the attack costs are really high, but getting 4 energies on the board is really easy now. We have Umbreon Darkrai. This actually pairs really well with the Guzzlord because you can put things in range of that 120 hit. Dark Moon GX is another really powerful GX attack here, which you will be using. That's probably the GX attack you're going to be using the most, honestly. Your opponent can't play any trainer cards on the hand, and if you have an extra 5 extra Dark Energy attached to this Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out. So you can take an instant knockout and stop your opponent from playing any trainers. That's a huge upswing for you. So Darkrai Umbreon, another great card in this deck for sure. A new Ultra Beast card and a Dragon card, which kind of helps with the treasures because you can search it with this card. 280 HP, Naganadel, Guzzlord. We're just combining these boyos out here. It has an ability that lets you heal 60 by discarding a Pokemon. Pretty good because you're not going to be using all these Pokemon in the matchup. Like, not only can you not use them most of the time, but you also have to rely on your bench space, right? So you can hit 180, which is great for non-GX matchups. It's great for a lot of matchups, really. This card is really questionable in this build, but the reason why I like it so much is the GX attack. If you have an extra Psychic or Dark, so you can flip over your prizes, which is the GX attack, which is already pretty good. Like, having information on your prizes is sometimes key, especially whenever you have such a limited one of cards and you really need specific combos. But if you have an extra Psychic and Dark energy attached to it, then you can take 2 prizes. So the reason why I like this card so much is that there's a lot of things that this is a huge upswing turn early game, right? Because a lot of the time you're kind of stuck not being able to take a knockout, or just kind of like not wanting to attack your opponent for one reason or another, or maybe safeguard or something like that. And you're slowly trying to build up your board, but you also don't want to lose momentum, right? So while you're trying to accelerate energies on the board, using red and blue, using Nagas, using manual attachments, you can actually early game take this card, use the GX attack, take 2 prizes for free, similar to like Blacephalon and stuff like that, where they can take 1 prize for free. This card is taking 2 prizes for free, and you get to choose which 2 prizes you're going to take as well. This is huge. This is such a good GX attack. So on matchups where you're just looking for that early upswing, to make sure you don't lose the game, to keep up with pace and whatnot, you can use this card a lot. The attack does 180 base damage, which is, it's not really super great, but you are a 280 HP, like fat Pokemon. So there's benefits to this card for sure. It's pretty questionable if you want to play it, but that GX attack is just so good, especially if you're going to be seeing a lot more Keldeo in the format. It's just such a great attack to have while you build up things like Darkrai and this dude right here, Guzzlord. Or even Nagas sometimes if you want to try to KO them. It's just, I think it's a great Pokemon for sure. I like playing it. I probably wouldn't play it more than a 1-of because most of the time I'm only using it for the GX attack, but overall, pretty good card. I like it. We are playing 1 Grenadiers Zoark. I know a lot of people don't like the Grenadiers Zoark that much, but just the ability to hit huge numbers early for only 2 energies is kind of important. Early game, you can use this to swing. If you have only 2 energies on the board, you're already hitting 90 damage, which is actually not bad. But like as you load up energies, right, you have 5 energies on the board, all of a sudden you're hitting 180, 6 energies is 210, 7 energies is 240. You can see how it adds up quite quickly. 8 energies, like without this card, you'd have a much harder time versus tag team matchups, because sure, you can get a bunch of energies on the board, sure, you can hit them with these dudes and stuff like that, but you're never going to take an Oko. They're going to Oko you in return because, like, I mean you have high HP, but they have the abilities to really take aggressive knockouts towards you, while this card is your way of taking a revenge knockout a lot of the time. So I do like this. Also, something to keep in mind is that sometimes whenever you use this GX attack, all you need to do is take one tag team knockout with something like this or something like this, and you win the game, by the way. So like this prize taking ability is a great way to map out your game without even having to take any potential knockouts, which is really, really good a lot of time. But yeah, Greninja Zoroark, once again, a lot of people don't like the Greninja Zoroark. I'm still a fan of it personally, so I still play the Greninja Zoroark. I like having that 2 energy attack that can put in early pressure in the game, because we don't really have that otherwise. It says 4, 4, 5, 3, 3, like 3, 3, like everything needs a few more energies than this card does to start attacking early game. And then a lot of the attacks aren't even that good. Like 150 with 60 snipe is only good in GX matchups, and even then it's kind of questionable. It's good in Persephone against Persephone for sure, but if you're gonna play against Persephone, you're just gonna use that anyway, so you're not gonna play this down. This card is really only good for its GX attack as far as I'm aware. You can also set up numbers with this, but for the most part, I don't really like using this card as an attacker. So 3 energy attacker is not that great. You never really want to attack with your Nagas. You want to keep them around to attack with the, you want to keep them around for the GX, for the ability. And then of course, if you attack with your Weaviles, you're just putting your Weavile in harm's way. Unless you have 2 Weaviles on the board, that's kind of risky. And the attack sucks. You're only doing 130. So like, this is probably our best low energy attacker. Anyways, 1 to Dene, and that's it for the Pokemon line. We're gonna go ahead and move on here. Got to keep that consistency, you know what I'm saying? If we don't get that turn 1 Sneasel, we want to get that turn 1 Sneasel. So we want to make sure that we have the Dene to make sure that we can get that turn 1 Sneasel. Because more importantly than anything is that Sneasel. Poipo is cool and all, but if you can't move those energies around, it kind of feels pointless. So that's it for the Pokemon line. Let's go ahead and go over the trainers. We do, of course, have our 4 Pokemon communications to get our Sneasels early, our 4 treasures to get our Nagas and our Naga Guzz and thin the deck and things like that. So I do like that. 3 Cherish Balls. I only like 3 because we are playing 2 Tag Whistle. I like Tag Whistle more. That you get any combination of 2 tag teams or Pokemon or supporters from the deck. So of course we are playing our red and blue. So it's nice to have that Tag Whistle. Plus the majority of our attackers are GX, our tag team Pokemon. So tag whistles are good. Honestly, if you want, you could cut a treasure for a 3rd tag whistle. It's not even that bad. We are playing 2 Great Catchers. Another card that I'm only playing 2 of. It's only because we can take extra prizes with a bunch of different attackers. They don't really need to gust up as much as other decks. I do want to play 3. I just feel like 3 is a safe number. So once again, if you feel like cutting a treasure for like a 3rd Great Catcher or something like that, I wouldn't even, I think that would be a good idea, to be honest. 1 Reset Stamp, because I like Reset Stamp should just go, like I've always said, Reset Stamp should just go in about every deck. Great comeback potential, so I do like it a lot. And that's going to be it for the items. As far as the supporters go, we are playing for Cynthia, ooh, Glare, there we go. For Lily, and of course, 2 red and blue. Evolve one of your Pokemon into a GX Pokemon, and if you discard 2 cards, you may attach 2 energies from the deck to that Pokemon. So great burst potential as early as turn 1, as early as turn 2. You can, okay, so you go first. You get a manual attachment on the board, right? And you put down a Poipole, and you discard Dark Energy, whatever, right? Honestly, this is do best case scenario, right? Turn 1, you get a Sneasel down, 2 Poipoles down, and yeah, Sneasel down and 2 Poipoles down and a manual attachment. So you have 1 energy on the board. Turn 2, you use this, discard 2 cards and evolve into Weavile, and you attach 2 energies. That's 3 energies on the board. Manual attachment, that's 4 energies on the board. Using both Nagas that turn, that's 6 energies on the board turn 2. And this is not counting Darkrai Prism. If you use Darkrai Prism in any of these situations, you have 8 energies on the board as early as turn 2. As you can see, the burst is absolutely huge. 8 energies on the board means you're 1 turn away from being able to use Sableye Tyranitar's GX attack. Something to keep in mind, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? So a lot of people like Night City. I have always been a fan of the Viridian Forest just because I like to discard, it's specifically in the Naga build. I like to discard energies to grab more energies, guarantee manual attachments throughout the entire game because manual attachments are really important, and also fuel the Naga Nadels as well. So I play this over the Night City. Once again, if you're playing the Beast Ring build, I could see you playing Night City over the Forest, but I do like, I would also increase the energy count if you're doing that because kind of getting a manual attachment every turn is really key in this deck to keep the flow going. And of course, everything else is energies. We are playing 4, 8, 11 dark, and 3 psychic. Oh, this is not really super good on the board. There we go. Look at that. That looks much better already. 3 psychic, just because I like using Nakagas. I want to keep the psychic count high. Because you're playing Viridian Forest, so you could probably cut it for a 12th dark. But this is just to keep me at a solid 14 energy count. I feel like 14 is enough to guarantee me manual attachments almost every turn, and for me to not run out of energies. That's kind of key. You don't want to run out of energies from a big knockout. So that's going to be the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. There are definitely some changes I would make to the deck. Nagagas, I'd probably cut it down to a 2 count. In this deck in particular, I should say. I do like the Cynthia Lily line still. I do think drawing is really important. It's like you just want to draw a lot of the times in this deck. You're not really worried about doing anything else except for drawing cards every turn. So maybe cut out one of those psychic energies and replace it with a Great Catcher, and maybe cut out a treasure, replace it with another Tag Whistle. Everything else I like though. This deck has no switch, so if you want to play a switch, 1 or 2 switch copies, that could be pretty good. Super Scoop Ups have been a pretty popular option in this deck as well in the past. So you can play something cards like Super Scoop Up if you're worried about moving energies around, damaging stuff like that. If you want to just play 4 Super Scoop Ups over a switch, what would we cut? Let's see. Let's take a look here. Cut a Psychic for sure. Cut a Treasure. Everything else is kind of hard to cut. I mean, I guess you could start cutting a few Cynthias or Lilies or something like that, but I don't like cutting draw support cards. If you don't like any particular Pokemon, you could cut out some of the Pokemon as well. If you're playing Super Scoop Up, I like this option even more, only because you have that 280 HP, but you can cut like a Grenadiers, something along the lines of that. You can play a few Super Scoop Ups if you like that. My buddy Gumball always says that why play Switch when you could play Super Scoop Up, and honestly, I sometimes agree with him, even though Super Scoop Up's a horrible card. I love that card at the same time. I love any card that can flip because I have the worst luck and it makes me laugh every time I get tails. Anyways, that's going to be the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know a lot of you guys wanted to see Darkbox. Now that I've showcased Darkbox, I don't know what you guys want to see next. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see next. I'm definitely going to be showcasing an updated version of ADP for sure. Not super sure if I'm going to do a deck profile over it, but I do want to try out some different numbers, maybe try out Misty Lorelei, because a lot of people, a lot of you people wanted me to play Misty Lorelei in ADP, so I might just do that, Space Dogs, because as I found out from the poll I posted on the channel, 60% of you guys are Chads who know that ADP is called Space Dogs. The other 40% of you, kind of edgelords. Nothing wrong with being an edgelord, but I'm just saying. You guys wanted something like God Trio or Creation Trio. I mean, let's be real here. Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia, and Keldeo are all good dogs. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share.